Okay, guys, today we're going to be covering the coronavirus and Pamela Anderson getting married for a fifth time. Shawnee, I know you're a big fan of Pam.
Oh, God, I love my Pam.
How did you take this news?
Very roughly, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of times I've held up that woman's poster with one hand, it's too much to count.
Hello and welcome to Talking It Out, the unscripted comedy talk show where a panel of dysfunctional media personalities dissect the week's news. My name is Dave Coffey. I'm joined in studio by former pop singer turned activist Trina McFarter.
Hello.
Social media influencer Sarah O'Crilly.
Chiagwich Caras.
Independent TD Shawnee Sutcliffe.
It's an intense pleasure to be here.
And shock newspaper journalist Brian Kilbird.
All right.
This week, the deadly coronavirus has spread beyond China to places like Thailand, Japan, the US, and possibly as close to home as Belfast. Sarah, I want to come to you. Sarah, I want to come to you.
Sorry.
You okay?
Yeah, no.
Sarah, I want to come to you on this first. You have your own makeup range, which is manufactured in China. Had you planned any trips to China?
Funnily enough, I've actually just been to China. I'm just off the plane. I was in this it's a really cute little town, Wuhan.
Oh.
So I was just over there.
You look a little
dead, to be honest.
off colour today.
I had a really good time, and the new collaboration is coming out soon.
With
and
The Chinese government?
I can't. It's a top Irish celebrity, male.
Is it the Danny from the Coronas? Because that'd be very ironic.
See, I'm fine. I'm young.
All right, just
I don't have it.
You
I
look
don't-
dead.
you look like a corpse.
Yeah.
And let's not get any stories out there that young people can't get it, because I use moments in time like this to quarantine my daughter Sheila. You know, anytime there's an opportunity. Swine flu, foot and mouth, any sort of superbug, great. Sheila, quarantine, and we put her into her room, we lock the door, and we don't have to worry about her for maybe a week or two, and it gives us all a break.
Have you a little hatch for the food?
We just shove it under the door frame.
So you have to choose very flat food.
Tin-based pizzas, things like that.
Well, it's actually quite a small gap, so we just squeeze it in, and I don't know how it ends up on the other side.
You couldn't do a Chicago-style deep dish pizza.
No.
You'd have to go with very thin bits.
Very thin
Dr.
bits.
Oetker.
Crepes.
Okay, I feel like we've gotten off the point a little bit. Shawnee, you're a TD. Have you issued any advice to your own constituents on how to avoid the virus?
Blind fear. Because as we know with the Y2K, people tend to panic. And what do you do when you panic? You buy stuff. I've set up a little business down at home where I'm selling masks, anti-disease bags that you wear over your head. A lot of this stuff I sort of got from hospital bins, you know.
Is this hospital waste, though? Like, is this used stuff you're using?
A lot of the stuff they throw out, they don't even really use at all, you know.
Because if it's soiled,
So,
you're gonna spread infection rather than curb it.
I'd be spreading a different disease, though. It's a completely different disease.
That's kind of bad, though.
Well,
It's not false advertising.
No. I think at the end of the day, if I have a choice between getting an Irish disease or a Chinese disease,
Okay, that makes sense.
I take an Irish one any day. And if that makes me racist, I suppose I'm a big racist.
Sarah, did you see any distressing scenes over in Wuhan?
There was some sickness, and there was a lot of dogs going around with just this crazy look in their eyes, spitty mouth, kind of like distressed eyes, worried looking.
You could have been describing Brian there. In fairness.
I could have been. That was good, Dave.
That's a good one, Dave.
A good one.
Oh, you got you there, Brian.
All right, yeah,
gotcha.
I might have been on it a bit too much last night. And,
Frothing
bit
at
of
the
work
mouth,
for
wild look in his eyes.
But,
I'm not frothing at the mouth.
Sounds like you. All right.
Have you been checked at all
Like,
since you come back?
Yeah, can you tell me exactly where you were? It doesn't sound like you were like in a city.
I was in factories, I was in the town, and then I spent a night with a guy. It was kind of spur of the moment. I wasn't intending on it happening.
You don't have to.
We went to a sake bar, which is funny because sake is from Japan.
Yes.
But we did go to a sake bar. Things got a little loose.
Okay, well,
and I shagged a Chinese guy. So I don't know where I was. I don't know what I was doing. Guys, I could have actually got the disease. I don't know.
Does anyone want to switch seats with me?
In other news this week, Amazon billionaire Jeff Bezos had his mobile phone hacked in 2018 after receiving a WhatsApp message from the personal phone of the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia.
They call him a hacktivist. Because he was just doing Jeff's wife a favor anyway, by releasing this. The Saudis are very famous for being feminists,
Yes.
and I think
Are
that
they?
oh yes, sure they all dress up like women. He actually, you remember the Ashley Madison scandal? They released a whole load of data and names of people who had signed up to this affair
Website. And
dating
was
website.
Was Dez's name?
It was like
one of them?
done deal for riding.
Des was on it, I was on it, Sheila was on it, and Shane, the whole family actually. Do you remember what Jeff Bezos, what one of the messages was? I love you alive, girl. I'm going to show you with my body and my lips. That was one of his sexts that was
That
released.
sounds like a Prince lyric.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Lines are equivalent.
I wanted it tattooed on my lower back, but my skin was too loose.
Oh.
Well, Brian, you're a journalist. Have you ever hacked anyone to get a story?
all the time.
Yeah.
I've hacked all before. Look, I'd be hacking all
Did
the
you,
live long day.
whoa. Did you say you hacked us?
Huh?
Did you say you hacked us, you little prick?
I stopped myself from saying the last word, so
Oh.
you'll never know, I suppose.
Oh, that's okay.
I'd be complimented. I'm an open book.
Give us some hints of some Irish celebs that you've hacked. You don't have to name them, but just give us.
Simon Delaney.
He's your friend.
Yeah, I was actually, it was part of his stag do. I was getting some
You
kind of
hacked them?
gas material. And for the best man speech, I was like, how will I get some real juicy stuff?
Did you
It
find
was
that?
hacked email.
Find that and go to it?
No,
you can
just-
tell us.
Yeah, it was just him fucking emailing funny memes to Don Wycherley. I've hacked
Don Conroy?
What did he have to
hacked
say?
Don Conroy. He hates owls.
I heard that he thought that drawing animals steals their soul,
Oh,
like
yeah.
taking a photograph of a tribal person.
Yeah.
Shawnee, Bezos and the Crown Prince had apparently been on good terms prior to this. Has a friend ever betrayed you in a similar fashion?
the early noughties, I got a chance to meet President McAleese. And this was a big thing. Even though it's a woman, it's still the president. They still have the power to bomb. Before I left, I got a phone call from my friend Francis McDormand. It's nothing to do with the actress. It's a man from Clonee. So Francis said, oh, sure, we'll have to have a pint before you head off to Dublin. We had several pints, and I wanted to be fairly straight for the drive, So I said, no, that's it. I'm not having any more. But we went into the toilets, and as I was urinating, I could feel urine running down my leg, and I turned, and it was Francis. I said, Francis, what are you at? And he says, oh, I'm sorry, I'm just off the piddle on you. I said, listen, we all make mistakes. I headed off. I did notice there was a strong smell of it when I got into the car. And when I got to Phoenix Park, I later discovered it was doe urine that he had bottled, and I was attacked by several deer. And McAleese wouldn't come near me.
What shall we do with the drunken sailor? A yacht captain has been found guilty of being drunk while erratically sailing his pleasure boat in Dublin Port's shipping lane. Sarah, have you ever been caught drunk in a situation where you shouldn't have been?
On my 6-year holiday, we went to Ayia Napa and we'd had a few fat frogs that morning. And me and one friend, we robbed a pedalo. So basically for the rest of the
In a
6-year
pedalo?
holiday, we were in jail.
What's a Cypriot jail like?
Very grim.
Hmm.
One bucket, 2 girls.
Oh, right.
Seen
Oh,
that
I've seen
video.
that video, yeah.
In Love Island news, there was a big stir in the house this week with the arrival of a new contestant. Sarah, I know you were hopeful of being invited onto Love Island this year.
Yeah.
You're probably far too old.
I
I'd say.
actually spent a fortune.
A Cougar Island, Dave.
I'm too good for that shit anyway. So
Yeah.
whatever. See you later. I won't be tuning in. My boyfriend, it gets him far too aroused, so we're not allowed to watch it.
Didn't
So,
you just meet someone in
whatever.
China, you were saying?
Well, look, that was a blip, as
What
they
happens in
say.
China?
Oh, yeah.
That was a little
What
blip.
happens in China stays in China, apart from an infectious disease.